Again, in this brand new medium that we're all in, the convenience of the consumption of your show is really what's valuable. That's how all these platforms are designed, from Spotify to YouTube to Amazon, Apple Music, etc. That's what we're going to get into part 2 of this segment with Gilbert Arenas. We're learning the same exact thing, except his situation is 10 times worse because he took a completely shitty deal where he's only collecting 25% of revenue just off his YouTube channel. Gilbert Arenas is really one of the first players to enter this medium before it became the big podcast landscape that it is today. He's had a number of entities invest in him, from Complex, doing a show with Mia Khalifa. He has multiple YouTube channels that fans don't really know about, that he's sort of hidden, but they have well over 500,000 subscribers. I'm not sure if those numbers are real, but my man Gil has been putting in work in this space longer than most of the NBA players now entering the space. Fast forward today, in his recent partnership with Underdog Fantasy, after certain legal situations he got last season, they rebranded the show from Gil's Arena to The Arena. Also, there was a built-in studio that was in the basement or just somewhere in Gilbert Arenas' house that Underdog put the money up to build, and it got to a point where they realized he no longer pushes the needle. And not only they rebranded the show, they hired Skip Bayless and a whole other crew of hosts, as their whole real business model is to get fans to sign up for subscriptions under their gambling app. But right here, Gilbert sat down with one of the most popular NBA content creators, Lowlights, and even Low, who never had multiple NBA $1 million contracts in his bank account already, just schools Gilbert on the fact that he fully got finessed within this space. These are definitely interesting times, because even though some of these guys are millionaires, they do suck when it comes to business. You guys check it out, and every once in a while, I'll check in.
What was the most viewed sports show on YouTube in January of 2025?
January? You mean January, February, March, April, May, June? What?
And July. Okay.
Gil's Arena?
Oh, you mean
Gil's
all
Arena.
the way until we took a break?
Until we take a break.
Oh, Gil's Arena.
Yeah, Gil's Arena, easy.
So it's like, so y'all just cutting out so so the football show can breathe, or what y'all doing?
Yeah, Lo, these are great questions.
I think we got to wait till the.
You know what it is,
football
Lo?
season's over.
And here's the business part.
You have to wait till the football season is over?
Oh, okay. So from the business
so
side.
So y'all got to get the fuck out the way? So.
Now, from the business side of it, is when it comes to like fantasy and betting companies, for some reason, football generates more money.
Now, Gil, why the fuck would you partner up with them knowing that you're an NBA player? Again, just to start off this segment, they're evaluating the wrong stats. Oh, who was the most watched NBA show? It was our show, etc. None of that shit matters. If you're going to partner up with an entity, you have to make sure you're aligned. Underdog Fantasy could have never built up Gil's Arena without using the built-in audience of a former NBA star. But this shit gets worse.
Right? So, like, football season, on how everything goes every week, a lot of these companies make a lot of money during the football season. So how they're going to do for the year is depicted on football, not basketball. So no matter how great our numbers are, business-wise, football generates the most money with the fantasies and all of that. So it's not about how great our show is, it's how much money is generated through the sport. We were just an anomaly. No one knew we was going to bust out like we did, right? They had us as basketball, and they had like 9 football shows. And we was outperforming all of them combined.
Times 10.
But you're saying y'all generate more for fantasy, not from a viewership standpoint.
No, we do both. We outperform everybody in both categories.
I'm saying for y'all though. I'm assuming the reason why is because they are willing to provide more for the football show.
Yeah, I guess they got a football show that they think can help them get those numbers that they're looking for.
The numbers that they're looking for is not the viewership. It's really the signups for their gambling app that comes off that viewership. They're investing into Gil's Arena for that reason. The NFL has always had a higher percentage of fans who gamble in the game versus the NBA. So this partnership was already flawed from the jump because that is Underdog's main business model. They don't necessarily care about the media side to this whole venture. They just needed to translate into signups within the app. Again, for some of the NBA players, I know y'all be watching on the low, but understand who the fuck you partnering up with, because they will leave you out here looking like a $2 hoe.
They got a football show that they think can help them get those numbers that they're looking for, so they want to try it out. So they're gonna try it out for this year and see what happens.
Shout out, man. Shout out.
No, but look, Lo, I'm gonna be on playback. We're gonna be on playback, Lo. So yeah. So I'm gonna do my thing, Lo. It don't matter. We're gonna be on here.
Yeah.
You know, we just ain't gonna be in the arena.
Oh, Lo, I got that media credential too for
we gonna be in the office, Lo.
Okay, I gotta go to Milwaukee, for sure.
We're gonna be in battle mode, Lo. I might hey, look, to be honest, Lo, I got so much time I might fuck around come to your crib. Oh, what you doing over there, man? You know what I mean? Have one of those 24-hour streams.
Now you gotta ask yourself, why the fuck does a multi-millionaire NBA player want to come over Lowe's crib? And just judging by his reaction going, it's almost like Lowe already knows that Gil wants to see his whole operation. How is he getting the consistent views and engagement when they talk about the same subject matter and he's not even an NBA superstar? That's really Gil's mindset. Again, within this space, you can have a successful operation without having a high overhead. Look at Joe Rogan. Hell, you can even look at Peyton Manning. He went from recording his own personal feed to now he has a whole entity. And I bet you, according to him, because he's a multimillionaire already, it didn't cost him a lot of money to start up in a business he already knows the ins and outs of, due to the fact that he's already an NFL player.
No, we're not doing that. But I hear you. I hear you.
So we have a question.
24-hour stream, Lo?
I'm not doing a 24-hour stream. What the hell?
Gil, we have a question from 2K God. He said, question from 2K God. He said, if football is popping, why did they have to take over your channel? Why couldn't they make their own channel and make that pop?
Hey, that's a great question by the chat. That's a great fucking question, because they needed the sweat equity from a former major superstar athlete like Gilbert Arenas, who dropped 60 on Kobe. But the real question is, going forward, how many more athletes will fall for the same trick?
That's what we would have said. That was the argument. But as a family,
am I asking too many questions?
No. As a company, no. As a company, you don't want to start from the beginning. Most people don't like the grind of anything, right? You know, they want something that's already turnkey and go.
That right there is going to be an issue within the space. If you don't have an organic come up, it's going to be very hard for you to sustain yourself. Gilbert Arenas, from what I've seen, in my opinion, and I'm going to say allegedly, his views are inflated. And major personalities such as Bill Simmons let it be known that some of the alleged top of the top media personalities are inflating their numbers. And when advertisers are running special back-end processes just to see if the views are real, they're not getting sponsorship. And this is something that Gilbert Arenas already let it be known, that the show, coming from the Underdog fantasy side, was struggling to get advertisers. Remember how they kicked off this segment? They instantly went to their views.
So why should they start from the beginning? Listen, we are expensive. We're not your average podcast expenses. We get paid a lot of money. So because they pay us a lot of money and we not taking no pay cuts in here, if they say your ass gonna do 2 days a week and we want to try what they do for 3 days a week and we keep our money, hey man, hey, do your thing, man.
Not only that's a bad approach, Gilbert Arenas has not put up any money in this whole venture. That's why I said this situation is 10 times worse than Pat Bev's. Think about it. If Gilbert Arenas goes viral on this show and ESPN wants him to come in and do a segment, but yet they're sponsored by DraftKings, contractually, that could be an issue that could prevent him from collecting some money. The athletes for sure have to start asking more questions on what's going on in the back end with their image and likeness.
We'll see. Shit. Do y'all thing, man, right? Because at the end of the day, we can say, oh, hell nah, fuck that. And then they start cutting contracts. So if they want to go ahead and try 3 days a week until football season's over with and then recheck their hand, cool. Everybody still got their jobs.
Employment is key.
I can tell you this. I can tell you this. With the way our contracts is doing, they could say, hey man, we're gonna let about 6, 7 of y'all go and turn y'all ass into. Yeah.
I'm kind of confused. And again, I feel like I'm asking too many questions, so I'm not.
No. You can take over this playback right now, sir. Because if you ask questions, we can answer them. We will not bring these topics up. But
we ain't no sellouts.
This is interesting right here because they're not trying to let it be known overtly that they're upset about their contract situation, and there might be something preventing them from straight up talking about it unless they were asked a question.
Okay, because this is now forcing me to ask very specific questions just because how familiar I am with the community and like what's going on in the space.
Okay.
So I'll just cut to the chase. Who owns the channel?
50-50.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounds like 49-59. I mean, 51-49.
Facts. At least Low picks up on it. Gil is lying. Gilbert Arenas out here thinking that the fans are stupid. But how the hell can you have an alleged top-rated NBA show and all of a sudden they bring in Skip Bayless in a football show and record more times a week than your original show?
No. Well, okay. So here was the deal. So, because this is my question.
Okay.
So this was my original channel that I built.
Okay.
When I started podcast and then went to Fubo, and then because we was on linear, we was on Fubo Network.
Wow. I forgot about all that. Gil did have a partnership with Fubo. That's how long he's been in the space. Gil is almost an OG when it comes to NBA players just creating content online. He was sort of ahead of the curve, but his approach in the space was always clickbaity, trying to go viral, finding things to say that wasn't really organic to what he really believes. And it's almost as if he tried to shortcut his way to success in a space where it's really independent and there is a grind in order to get to that level. You got to mix in more of the organic with the inorganic.
It's the same channel from that? Is the same channel from Fubo?
Yeah. No, but I had Fubo create their own channel, and this channel stayed dormant from 2018 to 2023.
And Gilbert Arenas has multiple channels that are dormant. At least 5 to 6 of them. You got to go deep in the algorithm to find them shits. But they are there.
So basically what I did is I said, here, we can use my channel instead of going with, what was that, Showtime? Josiah, what was that first company that was trying to come in?
Showtime Basketball, right?
Yeah, so I said, instead of us going on Showtime, I got a YouTube channel. And I said, listen, I'll give you guys 50% of the YouTube channel if you guys fund it.
That's another issue right there. Gil, you're already a multi-millionaire. Unless you've gone broke. You could easily put up $200K, get a staff for 3 people. It doesn't really cost that much. And you would have been going viral on your own and leveraging that to get your own advertising deals. But again, doing bad business, taking shortcuts, it's not really the wave. And it's sad that he's a multi-millionaire doing this.
If you guys can have full control, like where it comes to thumbnails, creating, because I didn't know nothing about none of that. So you guys had the infrastructure. You give me the infrastructure, we're good.
Now that right there is what many companies are taking advantage of with these guys walking around with already built-in audiences. They do not understand the back end and how much money it really takes to have a successful channel. But if Gil had any volts just moving through his brain, he would pick up that Low actually built a successful platform without investing millions of dollars. So you already being a multi-millionaire, if you got a staff of 3 people and just put in the work, put in the grind, the sky's the limit, brother.
And I said, listen, I'll give you guys 50% of the YouTube channel if you guys fund it. If you guys can have full control, like where it comes to thumbnails, creating, because I didn't know nothing about none of that. So you guys had the infrastructure. You give me the infrastructure, we're good. And that's how it went.
How long does that last?
I'm a free agent, and we're me and Joe free agent this summer. BJ just signed a 2-year deal, right? BJ, you just signed. You got re-upped?
Yeah, I signed a 1 year.
Oh, you signed 1 year? Oh, yeah. So we all free agents.
In the summer 26.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
I guess there's other questions that need to be asked, but we won't ask them now.
You can ask, man.
We said enough. We've said enough.
No. Here's the thing is, whatever question you ask, we asking the same thing. We asked the same thing. It was one of those things, man, where when you're sitting here and you talking about, I'm thinking, listen, we're gonna go 5 days a week. They're gonna start a new channel, and they're gonna do, they can start off at 3 days a week. And I was like, well, we done spent this kind of money for those guys, and we have y'all big contract. As a business, we're not really making any money off you guys. You guys are doing great, but the sponsorships ain't coming in.
Wow, right there. The sponsorships are not coming in. Again, in the beginning of the segment, they mentioned their numbers. But when you see a situation like that, guys are alleged that they're doing numbers, but sponsorships are no longer coming in. That means 9 out of 10 times the viewership is fake. That very same play used to work, but there is some sort of technology out there that when you do go to advertisers, they go in the very back end of whatever, it could be your channel, your podcast, your RSS feed, and they're validating everything before they give you a penny. So how the fuck does a show that's doing numbers, got YouTube plaques, or whatever the fuck they're bragging about that really means nothing, how they can't get a sponsorship deal? Makes no sense. Something is not adding up.
For us to pay for the skips and that's we got to let some of your guys go. You see, when you started hearing shit like that, you be like, all right, no. Put it on the same channel. Because the last thing I want to do is, you got, Lexi. I can already see the people that are going to start letting go. And I'm like, not right now, man. We ain't got time for that. We moving. 2 old Dodgers in the 9th inning.
Damn.
Here's the secondary thought. I've done a few things on the internet and social media, as some of you may know. Check out Memes and Nightmares on Hulu when you get a chance. The other thought is just to embrace the LaQuint Dickey model and say, I'm gonna work you niggas to death to get my bread back. So instead of 2 days, how you go 7?
It's still a lot of questions to be asked. I ain't, cause I'm gonna get real nasty.
Bases loaded too. Let's go. That's not even nasty. This just the game is the game, ladies and gentlemen. There are things
it's not.
There are things you can't control.
I mean,
no,
man.
Not.
Listen, let's just say it.
I don't subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to that. I don't.
A lot of let's just say a lot of original Gills Arena staff, man. We got to mail them the million plaque. Let's just say that.
Gil, you do not need a staff to run a successful channel like that. You yourself already being a multi-millionaire, that's if you didn't lose the money. For the price of one of your luxury cars, you could have hired 2 to 3 people and maybe even paid them for 2 years. Build up a whole network and leverage that with your already connections being an NBA player to get advertisers. But the fact that you quickly ran to multiple companies, Fubo, Underdog Fantasy, Complex, you ran to them like a little bitch instead of trying to understand the business, they pimped you out like the little hoe you presented to be.
And y'all and everybody in the chat, y'all know what side of the internet I come from. I come from everybody that I know from that side of the internet owns everything that they do. AMP owns that. When AJ and I was doing playback and peer-to-peer, we own that. Bro, we and I've every YouTube channel I have done, I have owned. Davis, every channel he owned. Kai, Duke, Phantom, they've all owned. So the idea of like someone owning something that they don't, I've never in my life. Matter of fact, I even convinced niggas to cut off they CMCs so they weren't nobody taking no cuts at all. So I've never, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. I couldn't. It wasn't me.
That shit happened to me though.
Yeah, it wasn't. And to be fair, the money is crazy when they put it in your face, but then it's like every like 3 to 4 months, if you just dedicate a little bit more time, it's like, man, that shit don't even like what y'all like. The price keep going more and more up. So it's like, what the fuck?
Even Low picks it up. The fact that these guys took a shortcut, now they're getting what they're getting. And that's very unfortunate because once again, Gilbert Arenas has been in this space for a very long time. He's one of the first, I would say, NBA former all-star players to actually start creating content on the web. Not only he should be further along, but the fact that he's tied into all these contracts has definitely put a ceiling to his potential.
Listen, what you're saying is 100%, and I always talk about 100% ownership. But I had to make a decision when I first started. right? And I needed infrastructure, what I didn't have, right? Starting up a YouTube channel, we were on linear. I wasn't using this channel, so giving up 50% of a channel I didn't use seemed like the best idea to get a full studio and do all that.
Again, right there, it's assessing the transaction. A lot of these athletes are holding on to something that they may not recognize right away. Just the built-in audience that they already come with is worth millions. Matter of fact, I'm not even equated to money. It's really the whole engine that makes the platform run. Underdog could have never built a channel with 1 million subs without having a former NBA player who was already creating content being ahead of the curve 10 to 15 years ago. That's something right there that you can't put a price on. And Gilbert Arenas giving that up just to have a built-in studio. My guy, you're a multi-millionaire. You couldn't build that shit yourself?
Right? Put the boys on, fully paid for, didn't see us going to this point. I didn't care about the YouTube channel because it's pennies to what we make.
Yes, it's pennies, but you traded away the whole engine for something that should have been pennies on the dollar. You're talking to someone at this very moment who built a platform without having millions of dollars or the same level of investment from an outside company that you did. And he's 10 times more successful. Right here, it looks like Gilbert Arenas has envisioned himself within this whole content space, producing a show on the same level as, I don't know, a Sports Center or just one of these highly produced shows on television. But that doesn't necessarily move the needle within this space. He has to understand that.
Yeah. It's pennies to what we make. Pennies to what we make.
Long term, or are you talking about?
Right now, it's pennies to what we make. So put it like this. If I own this and they said pay your staff, nigga, I can't afford not one person on my staff.
Not me. Nigga, I'll be elsewhere.
That YouTube, then put it like this. The YouTube makes about 3-4 million a year. Okay? That ain't our staff. just say that. Our staff is way over 4 million a year.
Right now, he's talking to lowlights who doesn't even have a staff that even equates to $1 million a year. And yet he's built a 10 times more successful platform without already having a built-in audience from being an NBA superstar. You know, in today's world, it's a little bit of a flaw how people look at things from the top down. But if Gil continues to want to do that, he could look at Joe Rogan and see that he really kind of popped off with a staff of about 3 people.
Might be a month.
4 mil a month. I don't know.
Yeah, I get what he's saying. I get what you're saying.
So to give up 50% and y'all take care of that, and we just entertain and you build the structure, you do all that. That was the investment that I had to do. And then this next summer we'll reevaluate it. But listen, I'm like you. I'm a content creator, right? So I consider myself the tree. I'm the tree that makes fruit. I can move on from channels and start back up and do me, right? I understand how to create and do this from an entertainment standpoint. So I don't want to have 100% of something if I can't maximize it myself. Now, when the summer comes, I can maximize it. But when we first started, I didn't know nothing about nothing.
Yeah, okay.
And that has left him in a position where he let an outside company build a whole studio within his house and at the same time remove him from that show, even to the point where he can't enter that space within his own house. Shit, if Skip Bayless is in his house the next morning, he might be able to see his girl in a certain nightgown and tell him, hey, just stay out of the basement. She could come down here, but not you. Ain't that a bitch?
I was just on YouTube Beef Streets, talking shit to Kwame Brown.
Yeah.
That was it. And from there, I built 1, 2, 3, 4 studios in that time frame. So now it's time we can all do what we got to do. I got Amazon, I got Netflix, I got everybody barking.
And none of them had a bite. Matter of fact, Amazon went with another show with Keenan and Kevin Hart. A fucking sports show with Keenan and Kevin Hart? That's kind of crazy. Gilbert Arenas still to this day is looking for that very same shortcut without even landing on a new deal.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like, I mean, I ain't know y'all before, Lo. So I ain't know about the independents. Like,
We got
what was funny is I had a YouTube channel, didn't even know nothing about YouTube.
Yeah, we gotta get you straight. Yeah.
Like I literally like this is the channel I'm on right now. This was my YouTube beef channel that I was on.
Come on, bro.
I didn't know nothing about YouTube with a 118,000 sub YouTube channel. So, you know, when I was looking at the money, I didn't know what was on there.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
But I think, like, if I have to take it back low, I'm doing it the same way.
You still do it the same way?
Yeah.
Damn, you see Lowe's reaction? You'll still do it the same way? Shit. This motherfucker is stupid. And Gil throughout his career has always been a dumbass. Let's not get that twisted. The NBA actually never suspended him for his gun incident within the locker room. They suspended him afterwards because they found out he was transferring guns on a private plane. This guy Gil has always been beyond stupid.
But I think, like, if I have to take it back low, I'm doing it the same way.
You still do it the same way?
Yeah. Because now that we're winning, we got all the awards. 10 months later, we all negotiating. Hey, Lo, I'm gonna text you, Lo.
Yeah, I can't say I would.
All right, Lo, I'm gonna text you.
No. Just text each other. Talk privately.
Hey, Lo. So everything that you do in business, you'll keep 100% of.
Unless somebody makes something make sense, I would never. I've never deemed it necessary, and I've been around. I would very well argue, outside of like 4 or 5 people, I've been around the biggest content creators in the last decade, and none of them have also never come across someone that made sense for them to give up their either. Like AMP is, I would argue, outside of maybe 1 or 2 other entities, it is the biggest content creation group in the internet right now, and none of them have ever came across an opportunity that would make sense for them to give up ownership. So that's just that's me though.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No, because I've had people come to me about Tough Crowd because I own 100% of Tough Crowd. So just asking. I mean, a lot of people have approached me too, but like you just said, like it just don't make sense.
Now, right there, former NBA player and high school superstar Brandon Jennings being very inquisitive because, make no mistake about it, a lot of these athletes are being quickly approached by a lot of these production companies that are trying to get them for cheap. Matter of fact, they're trying to steer them away from being self-sustained in an independent space. That's why I said this is a mixed bag right here, because content creation is an independent tech space. And this current crop of just former athletes are still conditioned for network television in a way. They're looking for deals and they're looking to join major media conglomerates. And that's really not the way to go. But hey, it's nobody's job to teach you business. And for a lot of these athletes, they're going to learn the hard way. You guys definitely hit up the link in the description below. Check out my NBA True Story playlist for more segments like this. And until next time, you fellas stay safe. Peace.